Jordan Peterson. Do I like him? Is he smart? Is he a big old philosopher, smart guy, tough guy, Mr. Talk a lot? I don't know. I don't think so. A lot of the stuff that he kind of says is just kind of. I haven't seen too much. Let's dive into Jordan B. Peterson, because why not? Nazis, white supremacists, these simply do not exist in Canada. There is no culture of such things in Canada, political or otherwise. Brother, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that I don't think racism is exclusive to like other countries in like America. Like I think there are racists in I think there's definitely racists and Nazis in Canada, at least a few or a handful. I'm not gonna sit here and be like some all-knowing being. I know where they are. I know how many, but I'm sure there's at least a few, if not like a few thousand. It's so weird. Like our Canadian culture, just there is none. You know, there are no Nazis here. You don't know what the fuck is going on in your neighbor's house. You don't know what the fuck is going on down the street. You don't know. You're not there. You don't live there. You don't see what's going on behind closed doors. Why would you say this? You have no idea. You have no idea if there's any white supremacists or Nazis in your neighborhood. You can't tell that. You're not some fucking deity that just perceives. You have X-ray vision, or you kitty pride. Can you just shove your head through their wall? And if you do so, like, that's kind of creepy, but like, what the fuck? So I see him arguing with a lot of people about Canadian stuff, just like Canadian officials and just Canadian politics. And I don't give a shit about any of that because I'm not Canadian. So, I mean, I can't speak on Canadian politics, guys. I'm fucking Floridian. I wrestle alligators and get bit by mosquitoes. Also, I just fucking picked random videos for this. Don't act like I went and picked like the worst ones and I'm like, oh, these are the trying to make him look bad by picking the worst ones. I literally just found like a video and clicked on it.
Not everybody is equipped to or interested in engaging in high-level discussion of abstract and creative ideas. You know, you hear this idea that everyone's creative. That's a lie.
I'd like to see his source for where he's saying that people aren't creative, which is, I get it. There's people who don't want to be creative, I guess. I don't really know where it's coming from, because like people are fucking creative all the time. Like they really fucking are. We see constantly in our market, people want to be creative. I don't see his perspective there, but let's keep going, I guess.
What you do is you find like-minded people who are capable of engaging that. You know, heavyweight weightlifters compete with heavyweight weightlifters for a reason, and everyone thinks that's fine. And the same thing applies to intellectual and creative endeavors. So what you do is you try to find a community where that's the nature of the community.
Okay, so he just tried to use this analogy saying, you know, heavy weightlifting people, they go find other heavy weightlifting people to, like, you know, lift weights with. Well, intellectually creative people have to do that. They have to go find a community of intellectually creative people. Brother, can't the fucking weightlifters be intellectual and creative? Don't they know shit about, like, your body? Are they not allowed to know shit about philosophy? Are they not allowed to just know things because they lift weights? Like, are they not allowed to be intellectually and, like, creative people, like creative ways on how to work out your body, creative ways on how to do new exercises or schedules or routines or just, you know, different drinks, like pre-workout, post-workout? That's such a weird analogy to me, because you're basically saying, like, this group of people hangs out with this group of people. So those creative people that I said that don't fucking... there's not a lot of, you don't see a lot of these creative people, they have to find a community of other creative people, and it's hard. What the fuck is he talking about? That's actually kind of weird and stupid.
You have to find a relationship like that as well, you know. So I don't think so. I think what contributes to the siloing is the arrogance that goes along with it. Because if you can be interested in ideas and you can be creative. Well, that's the arrogance of the intellect, right? That's the thing the Catholic Church had warned about for centuries, is the arrogance of the intellect. So, because if you're wise as well as smart, and there is no relationship between being smart and being wise, they are not the same thing.
Brother, you cannot say there is no relationship between being smart and being wise. There is. You're saying they're not the same thing, which means they're not identical. But guess what? they're similar because they're different skills that you have, okay? Being smart, you know shit, but being wise, being street smart, being around the block and having the experience, yes, it's fucking, yes, it's different. Yes, it is different. But to fucking say that there's just no relationship between the two is unbelievably asinine. Just you're fucking making shit up, brother. What the fuck is this guy doing? I feel like we need to move to just a different video because he's just gonna ramble on here. This is his best life advice, I guess.
Well, there isn't anything better to have than a problem that's worth solving, like that's really worth solving.
Life chooses what problems that you need to be solved. At the same time, you could also just not give a fuck. But I mean, there's that. I don't entirely disagree with this statement, but I don't entirely agree with it too, because people have the option to choose what they deserve, like what they think is that problem. But then we also have the dilemma of life just giving you problems that you have to solve regardless. It's not like it's a problem worthy of being solved. It's a problem that's like, if I don't solve this, I'm going to be homeless. If I don't solve this, I'm going to die. Like you have to solve them, right? Like there's no choice. It's not about the problem being worthy. Like something that you're being heroic or being fucking like a super cool guy. Like a motivation thing, be awesome. That's probably what this is. I can't stand these motivation videos. They're really fucking cringe.
These people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well. What that means is that you see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life.
I feel like Jordan Peterson just takes like very basic concepts here and just like for most of the time just kind of throws them into his philosophical rants. But at the same time, I feel like the whole production here going on with all the music and the direction, obviously there was a director involved in this, the way that they made this. Obviously it had to pass go, like they had to be like, yeah, that doesn't sound stupid. That's like in order for it to get put into like production. So I mean, they're taking like multiple different angles here. They're taking like different like interviews and different rants that he's gone on, and they're putting them together in a way that I guess made sense. I'm not sure if he like approved them in the end or not, but it seems like he takes some very basic things, and it's just like those people that are talking about you, like that you don't know them, like we don't know each other's lives. Like that was my point when I brought up that tweet where he was talking about how there's no Nazi culture or like white supremacist culture in Canada. Like, you don't know what the fuck is going on in other people's lives. And he just literally said the same thing, which is like a massive contradiction to that. But I'm sure either he acknowledges that at some point or doesn't. I don't know. I don't think he's super impressive. I don't think he's incredible or like fucking super witty. I think he's just a very basic shit. Like, here's my life advice to you. Let me give you guys my best life advice. Don't be a piece of shit. End of story. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I didn't want to rant too long on him. I don't think he's super cool or nothing. I just think that he's kind of there and weird and also very transphobic. So thanks, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.
Complete.